For more on the clearing of the encampments in Edmonton, we're joined by Aaron Paquette. He is Cree and Métis and the city councillor for Ward Dene in Edmonton. Paquette sits on a committee looking at encampment and unsheltered homelessness response plan. He joins us from Edmonton. Councillor Paquette, thanks so much for being with us here. Many people are seeing the video and images out of Edmonton, the police physically removing some people, many of them Indigenous, from these camps. What are your thoughts on what's happening?
Yeah, so we've got to take it back a little bit and take a look at why we have the encampments in the first place. And of course, most people will know that shelters, housing, and mental health and addictions are all provincial responsibilities. So on the city level, what we have to look at is, are encampments safe and are they fit for human habitation? And for the most part, that's generally been yes. But sometimes APS, our Edmonton Police Services, will come to us and say, we've got these specific concerns, or our firefighters will come and say, we've got these specific concerns. And if it's deemed high risk, as in people are literally in danger, then they can go and remove these encampments. And then the city, our role is simply to just go and clean up. Because as you may or may not know, municipalities do not direct our police services.
The daytime high in Edmonton over the next few days is hovering around the minus 30 mark. That's not with including the wind chill. Where are all of these people going to go?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? So the province has provided 1,700 shelter spaces, but we know that our homeless count is larger than that. There are also empty spots in these shelter spaces, and so the question is why? Why are there these empty spots? Why would people rather risk being outside in this extreme weather than go to a shelter space? And so as a result of that, the city actually drafted minimum shelter standards for the province to follow that would actually increase people's willingness to go to shelter spaces. As of yet, those standards have not been instituted or employed.
Now, you've spoken about the idea of Indigenous-led and managed camps. Can you tell us more about that plan and how that would work?
Yeah, so this is actually an idea that came from my cookums, and the idea is that we would have an Indigenous-led shelter that was sanctioned by the city of Edmonton, because if the province isn't stepping up to solve this problem, then we can't just ignore it. It's here. So we've got to do something that makes sense, is practical, and also compassionate. And so if folks are leery of going to shelters, maybe they can go to this Indigenous-led encampment that has 24/7 security to keep them safe. It would have water, it would have showering facilities, things like that. It would have transitions into maybe pods or those sort of oil-filled shelters, and then moving on into finding a home or finding recovery or finding supports. And in this way, we can not only help people immediately in a way that is sensible and keeps them safe, but it also helps them move into a better life, or at least a life where they are cared for those who are unable to care for themselves at this time.
Well, Councillor Paquette, this is a big discussion right across the country for sure, and many of our relatives that are out there, so we hope that everybody stays safe during this cold snap here, and appreciate you taking some time for us as well.
Oh, my pleasure. And, one thing that we're always looking for, as you know, is because most of our homeless are Indigenous, where's the federal government on this, right? So thank you for taking the time to speak with me, and lots of questions and lots of work to go.